Hey guys, it's Bella and welcome back to another book talk. Today we are going to be talking about the third Shatter Me book, Ignite Me by Tahira Mafia. If you don't know, the Shatter Me series is a dystopian YA series following a girl named Juliet, and I have done 2 other book talks on this series so far, so check them out if you have not seen them, especially before watching this video, because you'll probably be a little confused if you're not planning on reading the book series. I will be talking about spoilery stuff in this video, but before I do that, I will give a little review of what I thought of the book, so I'll let you guys know when you need to leave if you want to avoid spoilers. So by now, I kind of have a tradition of starting off my reviews and book talks with my favorite quote or one of my favorite quotes from the book, so I will do that now. It is a long one, but it's really good. Words, I think, are such unpredictable creatures. No gun, no sword, no army or king will ever be more powerful than a sentence. Swords may cut and kill, but words will stab and stay, burying themselves in our bones to become corpses we carry into the future, all the time digging and failing to rip their skeletons from our flesh. I love the writing style in the Shatter Me series. Like, it's so vivid and beautiful and just unique to other things that I read all the time. Okay, so my non-spoilery thoughts of the book are that I loved it. The writing, of course, was perfection. There's so many good quotes in this book, so many things that I wrote down or took a picture of, and words that will just stick with me for a long time. It also had a really good ending and did something new with a lot of common YA tropes, and I thought that it made the book a lot better, because if it had just played out the trope as it usually went, and I definitely think it wouldn't have been as good. Everyone's character development was so good, especially Juliet's. Like, if you read a passage from the first book and then a passage from the last book, like, her character development, oh my god, it's so good. And everyone else's character development was good too, but Juliet's was definitely my favorite. I gave this book 5 stars. Okay, now if you haven't read this book or you want to read this book, get out of here. Don't let me spoil you. It was a great time. These books are really fun and easy to read, so I would definitely recommend checking them out if you haven't. Okay, now that the people who don't want spoilers are gone, let me get in to this book talk. From the beginning of this book, I loved Juliet so much more as a character. In the other 2 books, I did like her, but I wasn't completely sold on her as a main character, and I was just waiting to see the character development that I hope was going to happen. And it turned out great. She really started to shine in this book. She had so much more determination and courage, and just so much more fight in her that was something that I really missed from the other books. She believed in herself and she wanted to fight and take down the reestablishment, and I was so here for it. Honestly, in the beginning, I thought she was gonna have like some sort of corruption arc, and honestly, I wouldn't have been mad about it. I do love corruption arcs. And she kind of did in a way, but really it didn't go that direction. I loved her training scenes, and when she finally learned to control her power, like, it was so great. The moment when she realized that she can touch people normally because she can turn her power off like the other people can, and she realized how to do that, it was so emotional and so great. And like, I don't know, I'm kind of conflicted on how I feel about it. I mean, I'm really happy that she learned to do it, and I did like the scene that it happened in, but I feel like, I don't know, either it should have been a bigger deal or something, but maybe it was just because they were kind of in the middle of a war and they didn't have much time to linger on it, and I was kind of just being like, are we just not going to talk about this? But the highlight of this book was Warner. Oh my god. He's come really far too, and I just love his character so much. I don't know, he's just amazing. him and Juliet teaming up to start the rebellion was so great. I was so excited when she finally decided to join him and help stop the reestablishment, because, you know, he has all the resources and everything, and he's literally like a very powerful inside man, so that's kind of the only way that they can take down the reestablishment. Also, when he used his base to like house everyone because Juliet needed them there, and he was just like, okay, what can I do to help? Like, how can we get this done? When Adam was just being a complete asshole and, you know, threw a fit. We'll get to Adam though. Let me not get sidetracked. But yeah, that scene was so great. Oh my god, it was so great. He was willing to compromise when he saw how much it meant to her, which is something that a certain someone, Adam, was not able to do. Okay, I'm talking about Adam because I need to rant. He is literally in love with who Juliet used to be, or at least who he thought she was. He really thinks that she's only like kindness and goodness and all sweet and quiet and stuff, but there's so much more to her than that. Like, everyone has their good parts and bad parts, and they're not just made out of those things. Like, even if someone's kind, it doesn't mean that they're just kind. It doesn't mean that they have no fight in them. It just means that they're a decent person. And he seems to like idolize her and think that she's just this like amazing, like sweet, kind, gentle person, when in reality she's just like everyone else. She has her good sides and bad sides, and he just can't tolerate seeing when she acts human. He just kind of expects her to be like how she first was all of the time and not change. And he really could not come to terms with that she could protect herself. Like I mentioned in my previous book talk, how much he thinks that she's just like incompetent, but she literally, in this book, she literally overthrows the reestablishment, and it wouldn't have happened without her because everyone else has just like given up, and she was like, guys, we need to keep going, we can't just give up. And it just makes me mad that Adam completely underestimates her at every turn, and he just irritated me so much in this book. That one scene where he literally made Kenji touch her because, you know, it was going to hurt Kenji, and then obviously that's when Juliet figured out that she could turn her power off, so I guess it ended well. But like, what did Kenji do to you? Literally nothing. Like, Juliet, what she did to you wasn't even her fault, it was your fault. And god, I really can't stand Adam. Like, sure, he's not completely horrible, like at least he still cares about his brother and helping his brother, and he can at least put away his pride to help his brother. But other than his love for his brother, there's literally no redeeming characteristics about Adam, in my opinion, and I just, at the best, don't care about him, at the worst, really dislike him. One of my favorite things about this book was the ending, because a lot of YA books especially, but just books in general, tend to fall under the trope where like the main character is like, no, we can't be like the villains, we have to be better than them, we can't like take over the reestablishment, or like we can't kill the guy who runs it, we can't do any of that because we have to be better than them. And I mean, with a lot of heroes, and I've noticed especially women in fantasy books or books in general, it's almost looked down upon them when they want to gain power, or like they seek to gain more power for themselves, because it's more just seen as they're being like greedy, or, you know, it's not a good thing. Like, the hero should like not seek any power. And I love how in this book it just kind of gets overthrown, and Juliet's like, yeah, I want to take over the reestablishment, like I want to have the power because I can help people with that power, and I don't have to fear for my life with that power. And it's just, I don't know, I thought that was a really good moment when she was just like, when they were like, who's gonna run it? And she's like, I'm gonna run the reestablishment. Well, it's not the whole reestablishment, it's like one little sector of it, and you know, obviously it's not going to be the reestablishment under her, but she wants to take over, I think it's the continent. Yeah, I think it's North America is what Anderson runs. So by killing him, she's gonna run North America. Kenji was also great in this book. As always, I loved all his little vulnerable moments, especially with what's his name? I'm blanking. Castle. Especially with Castle, because like they literally lost everyone at Omega Point, and like that was a really hard blow for Castle, but I'm glad that they kind of like reconnected because the relationship's pretty great, and I don't know, I really like that part. And all the other side characters were great, of course, like James was great, everyone was great. This book was just really entertaining and fun to read, and I went through it really fast. I tried not to go through it as fast as I went through the second one because I read the second one in literally a day, but I still went through it pretty fast. So I'm sorry if I missed any details, but that tends to be what happens, is it kind of like blurs together in my head, especially because I've read some of the later books in the series by this point, so they're kind of blurring together. But hopefully I will have Restore Me, I think that is the fourth one. Yeah, Restore Me out soon. I'm doing Restore Me paired with the novella that comes after that, and that for a book talk, and then I'm going to continue to read the rest of the series and do book talks for each book. So those will be out throughout October, November, December probably, and they're going to be broken up with other videos, of course, because I don't want to just be putting out book talks. But I hope you guys do enjoy these, because it is really fun to talk about books that I enjoy and hear other people's opinions on them, because I really would like to know what you guys thought of this book, what you thought of the characters, what you thought of Adam and Warner and all of those characters. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you do like this kind of content, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on those post notifications. Bye!